Yo, we might be cooked. One win in December for Chelsea Football Club in the Premier League when you play about 1,000 Premier League games. 2-2 full-time at the Bridge against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, who are winless in 9 games coming into this. Winless in 10 now, but they did get a point. We've got 1 win in 7 Premier League games. I cannot tell you how bad this is. We had some good performances, some positive sparks, but we had some harrowing scenes. If you don't laugh, you will cry. Some changes from Maresca, a substitution that will be a huge talking point and probably the most damning evaluation of his managerial performance here. Of course, not banned for the touchline in this game. He was very much on the touchline at Stamford Bridge. And it's pretty negative stuff. Really, really is. We're going to get into it today, guys. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I will talk about this game, the ramifications. I mean, at time of recording, I think Man United are rather hilariously drawing to Wolves, so I think they remain behind us. I mean, of course, we won't know what the Premier League table looks like until well after I've recorded this, but at time of recording, Chelsea remain in 5th because Man United have not gone ahead yet against Wolves, but they will knock us out of the top 5 if they do what they're supposed to be doing and beat Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. Wolves who have 2 points all season, by the way. This represents 33% of their entire points total at the halfway point of the campaign, should they hold on. But this is about Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club. By the way, gang, daily content here on the channel if you do want to support me. You know, it's hard supporting Chelsea, but I'm a good guy. Do I ever let you down? Do I ever concede 2 goals to Bournemouth at home? No. So if you do want to support me, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and do follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and give me a good rating. That would be nice. Let's get into it. Right, so I'm going to screen share the lineup. Here we go. I did call Steval starting with Cole Palmer. I didn't think Delap would start, although I'm pleased he did, especially after seeing Joao Pedro coming on. Garnacho on the left wing. So Garnacho and Cole Palmer getting goal involvements, but Garnacho having a frustrating general performance, especially defensively. I mean, he got an assist, but certainly poor defensively. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo in the midfield. Caicedo riding a yellow card for a very long time and actually putting in a worrying foul after the yellow card, and he rode it really, really well for the whole game. As long as he doesn't get a red card at the beginning of the game, like against Arsenal, he can sit on a booking for a long time. And a very interesting decision from Maresca in terms of his back four. Not Fernandez in goal. Sanchez in goal with his recent first choice partnership of Wes Fofana and Chalobah. But 2 defenders playing out of position in the fullback position. So Gusto, who's ostensibly a right back / sometimes inverting right back, and a Champong, who's a centre back who can play right back or sometimes even in the defensive pocket. Both had really bad games. I think Trevoh had a really bad game. If you look here on SofaScore, so this is not Jan Football Therapy bias. They gave Player of the Match to Wesley Fofana. I thought he was excellent, actually. It was he did some excellent defensive stuff. I don't necessarily think he was the best player on the pitch. Like, SofaScore was giving him Player of the Match. I think that was probably Steval. But that was like an eye test thing. I know Fernandez scored a nice goal, but he gassed out. And we saw 4-2-3-1 from Bournemouth. Semenyo starting, conceding a penalty, of course, getting the joint lowest rating on the pitch with Joshua Champong. Him and Semenyo were 5.7s, which were the lowest on the pitch. Kluivert, Brooks, Evanilson, the usual suspects. Of course, Georgi Petrovic in goal, returning to his old stomping ground. Now, as always, we should say substitutions as well. I mean, 3 from Bournemouth. All 5 from Chelsea, from Maresca, he brings on, and as you can see, they all perform pretty well, except one. Santos, he only had a few minutes on the pitch. He looked alright though. Pedro Neto came on, looks good, second half. Reece James came on, settled things down, and it was a game of 2 halves. We were much better in the second half because of the additions of Neto and James coming on. But the big talking point, of course, is Joao Pedro coming on on just past the hour mark. So not even like 75 minutes, 80 minutes, 63, and absolutely stinking the gaff out. So, you know, you can see by the ratings for those listening. Green ratings for Reece James, Neto and Santos all got greens, all at 7 or over, up to 7.5, and Joao Pedro over orange 6.1, and he had a lot of time, over half an hour, to affect the game in 2 different positions, and he was very, very poor. I'm very worried about him. Game of 2 halves, gang. So let's look at the statistics of both halves. As always with Chelsea, there's no consistency. All 4 goals were scored in the first half. So they generated 2.5 XG in that first half alone. 40% of the ball, which is more than enough for a Bournemouth going to Stamford Bridge. 5 big chances to Bournemouth. 5 big chances to Bournemouth and 1 to Chelsea. I mean, that is a sickener. The fact that Chelsea scored 2 goals from 1 big chance and 1.3 XG, and one of that, and the penalties, like, what's that point? It's basically nearly an expected goal. So Fernandez's goal to Chelsea's second was actually a very low value chance, and he scored an excellent finish. Now, we need to talk about this, because they said I'm glad I remember this. They said this on Sky Sports. They had 14 shots in that first half, Bournemouth. Not just like, you know, last season there was a period when Bournemouth were in the top 4 or top 5 for a while, and Andoni Iraola's team were like flying high, and, you know, they had before they lost they had Kepa in goal, and they had Howson, and they had all the back 4, and of course they had Kirkes, and, you know, they were really good and they were playing incredibly well. That team didn't do this good in the first half. In the Premier League, they've never registered as many shots in the first half as they did at Stamford Bridge today. Now, deep that. We're not talking about that amazing team last season that was in good form. We're talking about this Bournemouth that are winless in 10 games. Yeah, listen to that. Winless in 10 games. This Bournemouth, away at Stamford Bridge, have broken their Premier League record for shots in the first half. That's a bit of a mouthful, but you have to understand, it's a sickener. It makes me sick. Second half then, Chelsea much more dominant. Nearly basically 3/4 of the ball in terms of possession. Nearly 3 times the amount of XG, but still not enough. Only 1.13 for Chelsea. Still not enough. We had 10 corner kicks to their 2. Probably should have won. If you look at the attacking momentum meter for people, if you're on Spotify, by the way, you can watch the video as well. It's not just YouTube. The first half, as you can see, all the goals in the first half, but the attacking momentum meter, it was all Chelsea in the second half. But it don't mean sugar if you don't score, yeah? And we'll speak about that. We will speak about that. And in fact, what's his face for Bournemouth? I have to look at the lineups again. He obviously came off the bench. Is it Unal? Enes Unal. He had the chance to win it at the end. A cutback where he's, you know, stuck it over. And, you know, Bournemouth, and that would have been seriously sickening. So David Brooks scores in the 6th minute, early doors. I actually don't think it was that good from Sanchez. He's been, you know, good. He's been really good this season. He's been really, really good this season. I actually think he looked... Oh, the cat wants to come in. Hold on. Come on. I'm filming a post-mortem of Chelsea Football Club. I actually don't think he looked that great in the way he hit it out firstly and then scrambling on the line. I don't think he did, you know, didn't look so great, the Chelsea goalkeeper, but he's been good this season. Stevau wins a penalty in the 12th minute and, of course, conceded against the man playing his last game for Bournemouth in Antoine Semenyo. Let me grab the cat. Ooh. Meow, 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 meow. I'm seriously concerned about Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. Alright, that's enough. Don't rip the mic. Yeah, really excellent work from Estevao, who was the best attacking player on the pitch by a country mile. All the flicks and tricks. He of course won the penalty. There was another foul on him just outside the box later on as well. That if that was in the box, he would have won another penalty. He's an absolute demon. Let's just say it now. He has to start every game. Our wingers have been underperforming. Yes, Pedro Neto can do bits. There was a moment in the second half where he does a lofts in a ball with his weaker foot. Of course, he's really two-footed, Pedro Neto. He lofts the ball in with his weaker foot, and Delap just gets underneath it, and that was the moment for me. Oh, wait, hold on, one second. The cat's gonna chew through cables. I'm gonna have to sort out this cry. Right. Okay, sorry, that was stressful. The cat was chewing cables behind the screen. There was a great moment when Pedro Neto was the ball, and he's good, Pedro Neto. He's been good for a while, but the other wingers, like, I know Garnacho got an assist or whatever, but we need goals, bro. Like, this is pretty tragic, you know? This is tragic. Like, should we just finish the what happened? So Cole Palmer puts away the penalty. I was a fool. I mean, it wasn't a fool, but I triple captained him because I was like, right, he's definitely going to play this game. This is the last game to use my triple captain on Fantasy Premier League. Cole Palmer's got a goal, great. And then Garnacho assists a really good goal for Enzo Fernandez. It's an excellent finish. For the last game against Villa, he nearly scored that same goal. By the way, at time of recording, Arsenal are beating Aston Villa 2-0. 3-0! Sickener! Oh my god, Arsenal are going to win the league. What a bad day. What a bad day for everyone involved, except Arsenal fans. They are ripping Aston Villa apart. Do you know why? Because we made it so Matty Cash and Kamara are suspended for that game. And we lost. It was all for nothing. It's not like we even won. We're helping Arsenal, and we're destroying ourselves. Let's get back to the game. So Fernandez scores an excellent goal. He nearly scores the same finish against Villa. He scores it here, 2-1. And you're thinking, right, cool, that's a great goal. We're cooking. The vibes are up. Yeah, the vibes are up. And then we concede the second goal, which is the perfect time to talk about long throws. Because within the first 27 minutes of the game, all 4 goals were scored. For the rest of the hour plus, no other goals. The first 27 minutes, all the goals were scored. And it was a long throw on either side. Now, listen to this. Coming into this game, Chelsea were the team that have conceded the most goals from long throws in the league, which you will not feel surprised by at all. I got that from the Twitter account or X account, Chicago Dimitri, referencing as a graphic showing how Chelsea have conceded the most long throw goals in the league. And then just to demonstrate how that's our thing, we do two rather, in the space of 20 minutes, and we'll do one on each side. Score one from the left, and you can score one from the right. It was shambolic defending, yeah. And I'm sorry, man. I do love Trevor. I'm always very mindful that lots of people love him, and he's great, and he's proper Chelsea, and he's a good guy. He's not Chelsea's starting level centre back. I've sort of maintained my position. You guys know I love Wesley Fofana. I got some stick from it when he was out injured, but I think a lot of people are understanding now why I love him so much and why I loved him at Leicester and what a player he is and how he plays. He's aggressive, but he plays with class and confidence. And look, Chalobah is absolutely good enough to be a Chelsea player. I'm not saying he's not, but he shouldn't be in Chelsea's first choice 11. And when you are in a massive rut and you're coming up against Bournemouth, who are winless in 9, and you just need to win at home, no matter what. You play the big boys, yeah? And it should be a Colwell and Fofana, or whatever we sign you centre back. Because this is bad, man. This is bad. I mean, the transfer window opens the day after tomorrow. I think. Is that 31 days in December? My brain, bro. So... do we sign people? We've got 1 win in December. 1 win in December. Is that an indicator that 1 win in December, the following month, is a transfer window? Do you do something? Because this is freaking bad, bro. Yeah, this is super bad. And not the film. Just the super bad in terms of description of what things are. Oh my god, man. So who played well? Fine. I mean, you man on my Instagram live all seem to think Sanchez was fine. So yeah. I mean, he's been great this season. So fine. Sanchez is fine. He's certainly not a problem. He's a solution in the team broadly. But I think he was, I don't know if he was his best in this game, but he's got a fairly good rating. Fofana, fine. Fullbacks, I mean, I don't know how much it's their fault. Gusto's playing at left back. I actually think Gusto has been playing pretty poorly. He had that really good game when he scored and assisted, and then he's been shit again. Like, I swore, damn it! Nothing. Didn't swear. Yes, but he's playing at left back, bro. And Josh, he's a teenager. He's an amazing talent. He's playing in a position he doesn't really often play in. He's a kid. He's whatever. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. Fernandes and Caicedo are fine, although the midfield, I mean, again, this is where you look at Maresca. I'm not Maresca out, but I am Maresca. I've gone from Maresca in to Maresca needs evaluating. What is happening in this midfield? How can this midfield be bypassed so much? To be fair, the second half sorted out a little bit. Pedro Neto and Reece coming on. I mean, again, look at the attacking momentum meter from the first half. That first half is Pochettino football. Yeah, he scored 2 goals, but it's a brothel at the back. Any man can score, especially if they're long throws. But the second half, it's all Chelsea attacking momentum. So we did tighten up and just make the game ours, but we didn't finish the chances. And I guess if you don't finish the chances and you are all playing around their box, is it up? Is that the coach or is that the players? The first half, coach. So we didn't win either half, okay? So let's just say both halves are failures because it's Bournemouth, yeah? You need to win at least one half. But let's just say, let's look at them both, in their own way. They're both failures because you failed to beat Bournemouth. First half is on Maresca. You set up in a way where it was transitional and there was no freaking midfield and we sucked. I'm not going to swear anymore. It was awful. The second half is on the players because you had all the control, all the play around the box, and you don't have the cojones to just score the freaking goal. So let's talk about player performances then. Josh, he's a kid. I'm not going to dig him out too much, but obviously very poor. Gusto, poor. Trevo literally assisted one of the goals. I think he did a brain fart and he forgot which box he was in. It was a deliberate glancing header for the man at the back post, who by the way was there, who by the way was being mindfully watched by Garnacho. Now, I'm not going to dig Garnacho out too much because he got an assist and, defending, he's still a 21-year-old winger. Eventually, I know he's got loads of Prem experience, but, you got to be better at the back post. And maybe he didn't expect Trev to literally do a glancing assisted header. Very poor. Fernandes, fine. He scored a great goal. Caicedo, not... obviously, Caicedo is amazing, so I'm not going to criticise him. He did look really shook in that first half after that booking, but obviously they're both we've sort of dug Enzo out a little bit recently, but they're good players. Palmer, good. We'll speak about the substitution. Now, Delap, I want to speak about Delap because I think he actually looked pretty darn good in terms of centre-forward play in the first half. I actually think he looked pretty good. The cat's crying outside. I'm not going to let her in because she's just going to destroy the cables. I think Delap, he did a lot of good hold-up play, a lot of receiving the ball on the half-turn. He should have scored that header, I think, maybe got under. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but I still think Delap will come good. I'm not going to say he's going to be Chelsea's undeniable first-choice striker, but I think he's going to come good to a level where you'll be like, okay, he's a useful centre-forward and he knows what he's supposed to do, right? I want Chelsea to buy a striker. I'm going to say it now. I haven't seen a Mega, but right now, I just want us to buy a striker. I'm sorry. That's my position. Seems to be the position for the last freaking 10 years of supporting Chelsea. Here we are. Yeah, here we are. I remember I got gassed when we signed Pato, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because I just want strikers. I want Diego Costa replacement, and Lukaku, of course, we all got gassed on that. So Delap, I think he's done some good centre-forward play stuff. Palmer, let's just talk positive. Estevao, amazing. He played on the right wing. He started on the right wing. In the second half, he moved over to the left wing. He looked really good. He gassed out a little bit and he got beat up a little bit, but he's quite small. Oh my God, my cat, what's she doing? He's quite small and petite. I think he got beaten up a little bit and he gassed out. But amazing. He was the best player on the pitch for me, Steval. He needs to start. If he's passed the fitness test, I know you can make an argument against the better teams. You need these defensively resolute certain players that can get back quickly and that can defend intelligently. But I don't care. When your wingers are underperforming so much, you just need to play Steval. That's where I'm at now. I've gone from, Neto playing really well. When they're tired, bring on a Steval. Now I'm just like, just play both of them. Maybe a little bit harsh on Garnacho with the assist. Now, the big talking point, of course, is Cole Palmer, who played well. As you can see, he got 7.7 rating here. Second highest in the front four behind Steval, who's obviously coming back from a groin injury. Like a long-term groin injury. He was substituted on the hour mark, just basically, and it was huge boos around Stamford Bridge, understandably. Now, unlike last game, Cole Palmer, he didn't look angry coming off. He just walked around the pitch, and Joao Pedro came on. Now, maybe it was discussed with Maresca that look, we want to play you against Man City. Of course, Caicedo's booking will mean he's not available for Man City now, which is, I almost feel like, if sod's law, we beat Man City and we hand the title to Arsenal, and then we just don't end up getting in the Champions League. Oh, God. Sickening stuff. So maybe he had a conversation with the manager, like, right, we're going to play you for an hour, and, if you're good, we're going to take you off, we're going to start you again against Man City, and maybe he's like, yes, gaffer, and that was the plan. So maybe, yeah. But what happened was, he came off and we replaced him with a player who's been playing like trash. I know Joao Pedro scored the odd goal, yeah, and he scored a great goal against Newcastle. He scored a goal against Atalanta, played really poorly. He scored a great goal against Newcastle in transition. It was an amazing header and finish, great. And then, he scored again a bit like Atalanta, scoring in a loss against Aston Villa. He didn't, but that's not even he didn't even know he scored that goal. It bounced off him in the box. Joao Pedro is just looking lost. Literally, he looked like an amazing player in the Club World Cup. Started the season well, and I think I heard on was it the Straight Out of Cobham podcast when they were talking about is Maresca coaching the talent out of these players? Like Palmer was really good at the beginning of Maresca, but is that the end of Pochettino? Joao Pedro started. I think that's a little bit harsh. I think some players have got better, like Gusto found form again, and I don't know, man. I feel pretty lost about it. But Joao Pedro came on and he absolutely stank the gaff out. At time of recording, Man United is still drawing with Wolves on the 85th minute, so we'll see if there's a late winner there, but I'm going to stop recording now. Look, we're in trouble. We might turn to the transfer window. We are in a massive battle, bro, for top 5 for Champions League. It is top 5, isn't it? Is it top 5? I mean, Liverpool are yet to play, and they're 2 points clear of us, so they can go 5 points clear. And they're playing Leeds United, so they will go 5 points clear. Leeds have been good. Maybe it's a bit unfair. Anyway, that's enough. See you later, guys. I will be back, so keep it locked.